Letter to the editor from Leonard P. Marshall, a former NJ Conservative Party Ocean County Chairman and candidate for New Jersey Senate, 9th District. Listen to my editorial from 1997, published in New Jersey newspapers. While the names are different, we have the same problems here in South Carolina, just 30 years later. With costs going up and test scores going down, you would think we would have learned by now. July 9, 1997. This was in response to the Manchester Times Spotlight on Government feature dated June 3, 1997. It was authored by Senator Connors and it brings to light some of the real problems in New Jersey. It seems that we have been debating this thorough and efficient school funding fiasco for more than 27 years, while allowing school costs to go through the roof, driving up local property taxes. Meanwhile, the legislature twiddles their thumbs, ignores its mandated duties, points its index finger at the Supreme Court and whines that the schools are broken, the children need more help, yet the Supreme Court won't let us fix the problems. Well, let me tell you, this nonsense is pure hogwash. The New Jersey legislature wrote the education laws, and whatever the legislature writes, they can unwrite or rewrite with the stroke of a pen. Senator Connors goes on in the article citing what had been successfully done in Michigan, and then backhands their entire program by saying that it only works because Michigan's economy had been on an upswing. That may be partly true, but redirecting the source for the same amount of taxes doesn't fix the underlying problem of taxes that are in themselves excessive, but it does take a very large burden off the average homeowner. The real problem with the education system here in NJ is value. Value and quality. We spend the highest amount per student here in New Jersey, yet everyone complains that the children aren't being educated, they can't read, or make change, and they aren't graduating with the skills needed to be productive citizens. We aren't getting value for our money. Instead of our efforts going directly towards the children, we waste millions of dollars and uncountable man-hours with hundreds of useless programs, mandates and studies, all the while Johnny and Jane can't read or write. Of course, our legislators and educators keep telling us that if we would only spend more money on more new ideas and programs, everything would work out all right. More hogwash. More double talk from Senator Connors. The senator now has proposed that another new commission be formed to study the school funding problem and is working with Democratic gubernatorial candidate McGreevey on a constitutional amendment, and then if things still don't work, will then wash his hands of the whole affair and would grudgingly put it on the ballot and as a last resort allow the citizens of NJ to make a decision. Just what we need: more bureaucracy. More tinkering with the NJ Constitution, taking responsibility away from the legislature while giving still more to the courts and lawyers. For all you Republicans out there, you must be wondering why your own Republican senator is publicly helping a Democrat challenger of a Republican governor. Seems mighty strange. Either way, earlier this year Senator Connors publicly sponsored a bill, SCR 24, that would have allowed NJ voters, by way of the ballot, to have a decision on matters pertaining to campaign finance reform, education standards for politicians and election law reform. He later quietly voted against his own bill and it was never enacted. Why would he propose to allow the voters to decide questions on the ballot, when just the month before he publicly stated that it was a bad idea? He wouldn't trust the voters to do the right thing last time. Why should we trust him this time? Just substitute South Carolina names and dates and I think you will get the picture. Brought to you by Len Marshall, First Amendment Free Press.